I'm not doing any introduction today. I'm just free-flowing. Any mistake I make, I'll just reread and keep going, doing almost no editing. To be honest with you all, topics like this don't really appeal to me. When I talk about them, I'm coming from a place of survival. Late last year, I posted a number of videos warning about the war on Black women's social life, love life, and even sex life in America. If you haven't already seen those videos, I urge you to go through my videos and check them out. In fact, better still, I'm going to post the links to the videos I'm referring to in the comment section down below. Check them out and we could talk more about it here. I always welcome an intellectual banter. In fact, I live for it. Now let's talk about Annie Idibia and Regina Daniels' divorces. While celebrity gossip is part of what I market on my website by the same name, amakaintellectualfactory.com, I don't know why these women's stories are not really exciting to me. Maybe I'm more excited about President Trump making America great again, and Nigeria pulling herself out of the multiple crises she's in. Eleanor Roosevelt is quoted as saying, "Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people." And I couldn't agree more. So a few weeks ago, Two-Face Idibia, a popular Nigerian musician, took to social media announcing he wanted a divorce from Annie Idibia. Then there was also news that Annie Idibia was on drugs. Or is that not the story? You probably know the story more than I do. I'm so uninterested that I'm not even willing to cross-check the information. Then a few days ago, the gist is that Regina Daniels announced her divorce from Ned Nwoko. Do you know how many young, beautiful women that Regina Daniels' marriage to Ned Nwoko misled to marry such men, and now they are stuck? Marriage is jabajantis, but if you must engage in it, you have to engage in it as a contract because of Ogbanje people or occultic people. This is a reality that we think that by not addressing it will go away, but it's not going anywhere. We talk a great deal about white men's cult. You know, New World Order, Illuminati, Skull and Bones, Rosicrucians, Scientology, and the rest. It is very easy to talk about white male cults because white people, as in other white men, are the ones exposing them. But almost nobody talks about the black male cult, and it is so secretive that even non-black people that have tried to expose them express shock at how secretive black male cults are. And typical to the nature of Ogbanje black males, he has an insatiable sexual behavior. This is why Pan-Africanist movements keep failing. They soon turn into a promotion for polygamy, where the role of black women quickly descends into solely satisfying the black male's insatiable sexual behavior and even excusing the black male's sexual depravity. A lot of popular black men that are in prison in the United States for their sexual depravity would have been superstars on the African continent because we have been so indoctrinated, especially Black women, that we refuse to address this giant elephant in the room. Black male cults. Nobody needs to tell me that Two-Face is an occultic man with that same sexual perversion that comes with Black men's occultic nature. And please don't even let me get into Ned Nwoko. Both men are polygamists and by extension misogynists. These are men that we would warn our young Black girls to avoid if our society were in its right senses. You want to talk about secret societies? There is no secret society more secretive than Black male cults. If I ask you to list some, you would probably just call the Ekpe cult. You don't know about the leopard cult. Yet their symbolism is all over Nigeria, especially southeastern Nigeria. It is on our native clothes and in our local proverbs. You don't know about the crocodile cult either. Yet this cult dates as far back as ancient Egyptian times, and more recently, the late Aguiyi Ironsi, a former Nigerian head of state, was well known for carrying the sculpture of a crocodile with him everywhere. His name, Aguiyi, means crocodile. If you study the Black Pacific tribes, you will find a Black male crocodile cult there as well. There are other cults as well, like the Black male baboon cult. The Europeans that have studied the Black male leopard cult say it is a rather recent cult that came into existence in the early 20th century or so. I seriously beg to differ. In fact, I am of the opinion that of all these cults I have mentioned, the leopard cult is probably the oldest. It is pre-dynastic ancient Egypt. You see, Bes, a patriarchal pre-dynastic ancient Egyptian so-called god with a leopard skin over his shoulders. I'm actually beginning to think that the Sphinx of Giza was originally a leopard. But this leopard is so secretive, despite in our faces, that it is not even mentioned in passing as the possible original animal sculpted as the Sphinx of Giza. This same leopard is in the Bible, in the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 2, that reads, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority." You might wonder why I seem to be so interested in this Black male leopard cult. It's because I came to the realization that the primary Black men gang-stalking me in Los Angeles are these Black male leopard cult men. There are other groups of men involved. But for these leopard cult men, it is very personal because they honestly believe I am supposed to be their wife, or at least girlfriend. I haven't really looked into the ancient mysteries of the Anunnaki patriarchal invasion of our earth. But the more I think about it, based on what I have studied, it's probably telling the story of the invasion of our then matriarchal earth by these leopard men and other patriarchal groups. In previous videos, I talked about the black male cults I was studying back then, and still intend to study in the near future. This is a discussion you really, really don't want to miss. Make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification button so you can join the conversation. Right now, honestly, the news that interests me the most are Trump news, President Trump. He's not just the president of the United States, but as far as I'm concerned, he is the greatest superstar that Hollywood never had. Honestly, I can't get enough of Trump news. I wish he were younger. I mean, if FDR could be president for 4 terms, then so can President Trump. I'm just saying. But back to topic anyways. I even talked about my personal experience with these black male cults. Since when did complimenting your fellow Igbo sister become an issue? When I was a child, people complimented my mother in front of my dad all the time. In fact, in front of my father, men toasted my mom. My dad of blessed memory joked it off all the time. He would make funny faces at us every time this happened, and sometimes even jokingly mock my mom. I don't know how Nigeria is now, but the Nigeria I remember, people compliment each other all the time. In LA, and America by extension, you have to be careful when you're complimenting your dearly beloved sister, because Ogbanje people in this part of the world don't understand that human interaction. And this is what I've been trying to warn you Nigerians and Africans desiring to migrate to the West. There is serious Satanism in the US and Europe, and majority of the blacks in these parts of the world are beholden to this Satanism. Many people call it globalism. I don't mean to bring back President Trump into this conversation, but this is what he is fighting. Ogbanje people don't think like normal people. They really don't understand normal human interactions. You won't believe the types of attack I get for just simply complimenting someone. These people are on guard for anyone I like. They immediately infiltrate that interaction and pervert the whole situation. And because they have seen that they will never be able to reach me directly, they attack me by association. These past few weeks have been difficult just because I complimented somebody. And I suspect that they have infiltrated the closest people around her. You won't believe what I have had to deal with, from a funky speeding ticket, which I intend to knock out in traffic courts, of course, to having to buy a new tire because someone put a nail in my tire, to my paycheck coming in short, to the hacking of my page on a professional website, my monitoring spirit neighbors antagonizing me so much so that the police had to be called, and I have to take further legal actions for my protection. Just yesterday, another one happened. After a 16-hour work shift, I slept like a baby. I put on my hat, hoodie, blue jeans, trainers, and went to an Asian store to buy some fresh tilapia fish to cook for my soup. The whole time I was in the Asian supermarket, some Ogbanje black girl was just Ogbanjeing up and down around me, restlessly. It was so obvious she was doing too much to get my attention that even the guy cutting my fish noticed it. To the side, I observed some very dark-skinned guys, black men, watching. Now, as the master military strategist that I am, I immediately knew that these black men that were monitoring this girl's behavior were the ones that instructed her to behave that way. They were trying to set a trap for me. It's still these same Afro-Caribbean leopard men in action. I could have sworn that she said hi to me when she passed by. And let me tell you, this is a very beautiful black girl, and she was in a nice outfit too. Remember I said earlier that I had just slept like a baby after a 16-hour work day that ended my work week. And let me tell you, going to the grocery store on my days off feels like going to Disneyland. I enjoyed being away from the work environment. So you can only imagine how high my spirit was when I went into that Asian store, only for this to happen. Why do you think these men acted this way? I wanna ask that question, because I'm gonna answer it. Part of the reason is because of one of the videos I recently posted, titled, "'Tis Still the Season for Eucalyptus, Mint and Bang Bang Bang." It's a black sapphic erotica video. They don't like it because, as far as they are concerned, if I'm not their wife or even girlfriend, they feel they should have unrestricted sexual access to me. Ogbanje white people and Hispanic gang stalkers are also hating that video. They can't stand black love. Now that I have made it clear that I'm interested in women, black women, Ogbanje Becky has told herself that then I have to be with her. This thing is really serious. Black women, there is really a war on your social, love, and sex life. I can't say this enough. The fact I even gave a shout out to a dear Igbo sister made matters worse. And I have been suffering a series of endless attacks since then. This is crazy. I guess I should just use this opportunity to let my dear friend know that I will no longer give you a shout out, because I'm sure they are also attacking you to some degree. Part of what you're dealing with are jealous Ogbanje white women and Ogbanje Latinas, of course Afro-Caribbeans, attacking by causing those closer to you to be overreacting for nothing, because they don't want to use their eyes and see a black woman experience love, even if it is coming from a fellow black woman. Of course, you have other Ogbanje forces at play as well. This is really serious. I do care about you. I do care about you from the bottom of my heart. And I wish you the best. Don't feel stuck or helpless, because you are not stuck or helpless. If I were to advise you as a younger sister that I love and care about, I would advise that you try and avoid conflict and confrontational issues with those around you. I'm not saying that that's what's happening, I'm just giving my 2 cents because this is the last time I'm gonna ever address you. First of all, try and see if you can make your situation work. I will never advise someone in your situation to be rebellious because I know it is not good for you. How can I call myself a master military strategist when I know that peace is better than conflict? I won't deny I used to have my little fantasies, but I gave up on that a long time ago, years ago. I'm just being my usual playful, easygoing self. I am a free woman and I am beholden to nobody. Whether you decide to stay or leave, the strategic thing to do is to maintain peace and avoid conflict. I don't know how it is with you. I have absolutely no idea. I have never met you in person before. I don't even know anyone who knows you personally. Just in case somebody is pretending to know me and passing a message across to you, it's not coming from me. I'm not that slick. I have gone to a very great length to make it impossible for Ogbanje people to reach me. And I have found that the only way they can get to me is through association. That is why they sent that Ogbanje black girl to be Ogbanjeing around me in that Asian supermarket. They were trying to create a second situation similar to the second Igbo woman I had a terrible situation with. They know they can no longer use her against me because I have not made myself available for that nonsense. So they're trying to recreate a similar situation. I'm so sorry, my dear. I know this message is annoying and it's gonna hurt. It has nothing to do with you. You've just been an amazing angel. It's just like I said earlier, you are not stuck. However, first try and make it work. But if you must get out, you have to get out like Becky. You have to have a financial job that can sustain you financially. Try and have a circle of friends that can support you emotionally. And bear in mind, there is a certain layer of protection you are enjoying that you will lose if you walk out. And if that happens, wow. Ogbanje Hispanics, Afro-Caribbeans, whites and other Ogbanje people will come after you. This is why I talk about this thing, because it is happening way more frequently than we would like to admit. It is now so bad that the world needs to be having way more conversations about it. I remember the first time I told my friend in Nigeria about what I was experiencing in the United States. She was very shocked and told me she had a friend in another state in America going through the same thing. I also remember mentioning this to a Nigerian guy I met a long time ago in LA. And he said he knows an older Igbo woman who has been complaining about this for a very long time. I have personally met some Black American girls who have confided in me about this same situation. Many people are talking about this on YouTube too. And I have found that it is the same set of perpetrators. This evil has to be exposed so that people stop getting caught up in it. My dear, do me a big favor. Forget about me. Whether you decide to stay or leave, forget about me. In fact, when it comes to me, be so selfish. Don't even think about me at all. And these attacks are so much. I have never experienced this type of thing in my life. For someone like me who minds her business, this is very insane. I can be very playful, but I'm quite on the reserved and quiet side. I'm not saying I'm perfect or an angel, but I'm not a troublemaker. I like peace. I love peace. Honestly, I feel so bad about this video. But don't worry about me, I'll be fine. You don't have to reply me either. Anytime I think of you, I would always think kindly of you because you are a genuinely good person and I know it. And I hope that anytime I cross your mind, you think kindly of me too. Trust me, you are doing a lot better than you give yourself credit for. I'll still be checking your contents out, and you're more than welcome to check out my contents too. Anybody that puts their information out in the open is putting it out for everybody, right? God bless you, and I wish you the best. I really do. And God bless you all viewers.